Hey guys, HackerSploit here, back again with another video. Welcome back to the bug bounty series. Now in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at Heartbleed and how to detect it and how to exploit it. Now many of you will be wondering, apart from Heartbleed being a web-based vulnerability, why I'm actually including it within the bug bounty series. And the answer is very simple, and that is of course the data that is exposed or is dumped from the memory of a particular server can lead to the exploitation of a particular web application. And I'll get to that shortly. So many of you who have heard of Heartbleed already know what type of vulnerability it is, but if this is your first time hearing about it, Heartbleed is essentially a security bug or vulnerability in the OpenSSL cryptography library, which is widely used in the implementation of the transport layer or TLS protocol. Alright, so this vulnerability or this bug allows you to view information that would otherwise be protected by the SSL or TLS encryption. So it allows you to read memory of the system protected by the vulnerable version of OpenSSL. So you might be wondering, well, if this is truly a vulnerability that we can exploit, well, what versions of SSL, more specifically OpenSSL, are vulnerable? And the good news is this is quite an old vulnerability now, or relatively old, when you compare it to other new vulnerabilities being released, and it currently only affects OpenSSL 1.0.1. Now this brings of course into play the relevancy of this particular vulnerability, and I think this is very important video to cover. It may not be important when performing bug bounties, but certainly important when performing CTFs or any other challenges that might require you to exploit Heartbleed on a particular web server. Alright, now the tools we'll be using in our environment are of course going to be bbox. I've covered bbox in the previous videos. It is essentially a vulnerable virtual machine that contains bwap, but the great thing about it is it does include the Heartbleed vulnerability on a particular port. So I have mine running in VMware and we're ready to go. The download link will be in the description section. Alright, so let's get started. Now the first thing of course that you need to do is you need to scan or perform a vulnerability scan on a particular web server. Now of course the ports could be misconfigured, and I'll get to that in a second. So if we just go right over here, I'm going to open up my browser and I have the IP address right over here of the bbox web server, and you can see it contains bwap, drupalgeddon, evil folder, phpMyAdmin, and the SQLite manager. In our case, we're just going to click on bwap, and let me just log out and log back in. So B and that is bug, and I'm just going to log in. The vulnerability we're looking for is the Heartbleed vulnerability, which is under A6 if I remember correctly, which is under data exposure, although that of course can give you a multitude of other pieces of data that all sort of blend into the other vulnerabilities, for example authentication, etc. So we'll be taking a look at the Heartbleed vulnerability. I'll also be covering the Poodle vulnerability and how to patch all of these particular SSL vulnerabilities, but for now let's stick with the Heartbleed. I'm going to click on hack, and right over here it gives you this little message telling you the Nginx web server is using a vulnerable OpenSSL version, so we know that, and this is for bbox only. And it's going to tell you that hint, login on port 8443 and launch the attack script. Alright, so it's telling us, so there we are, we have the script here. It does give you the heartbleed.py script, so I already have that set up. I will be linking it in the description section, the actual proof of concept script. So you can, it's essentially telling you to go to port 8443. Now of course, one could have performed the Nmap scan, so well actually hold on, sudo nmap sv, and we can also run an advanced scan 68.1.105, and of course this web server has databases running on, and of course as we have just been told it has an Nginx session running, so we'll leave that to scan, but of course we know the port, so that means if 192.168.1.105 and of course 8443 and hit enter, it's gonna load up right over here with that particular vulnerable OpenSSL certificate. So that is fantastic. So we know it does work. Now of course with the Nmap scan, we'll just wait for the results. That isn't important, but of course I'm coming at this from a CTF perspective. So we have performed the scan on your server, and of course you've realized that either the web server that could be on port 443 is vulnerable to the Heartbleed. Now what? Now you essentially move on to vulnerability scanning, where you essentially test that particular port and you actually test it to see if it is vulnerable to the Heartbleed vulnerability. You can perform this with Nmap using the Nmap scripts. Apologies for that. That is the Discord. Let me just quit the Discord there. So you can do this with Nmap scripts, or you can do it with an auxiliary scanner with the Metasploit console or with Metasploit. All right, so let's do that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to abort this scan right over here because we already know the port and the particular IP. So we are going to get started with Nmap. So I've talked about Nmap scripts before. You can check that video out if you want to. So we're going to perform a sudo Nmap scan here. We know the port is port 8443. Let me just expand this so you can see what's going on. And then we're going to use the script argument here. And of course, we specify the script, which is Heartbleed. It is SSL Heartbleed right over here. And the IP, which is 192.168.1.105. I'm going to hit enter. We're going to wait for the results. And there we are. We can see that SSL Heartbleed is vulnerable. And we want to look for the risk factor. You can see that the risk factor is high, which means we have a good chance of exploiting this. It also gives you the versions. As I mentioned, it is vulnerable on versions 1.01 and the beta version of 1.02, which is understandable because it actually makes sense that they did have a beta for the next version. In any case, you have the various CVEs, so you can read more about the vulnerability here. Now that we have actually performed the vulnerability scan with Nmap, let's take a look at how to do it with Metasploit. So MSF console, let's run that, and we'll give that a few seconds to start up the Metasploit framework here. There we are. Fantastic. And we again, as I mentioned, the scanner is an auxiliary module, which is great. It also expands on the functionality in regards to exploiting this particular vulnerability. I'll explain that in a second. So what you can do is just simply say search OpenSSL and Heartbleed. Or you can essentially just use sorry about that. That looks like an incorrect spelling or a typo there. OpenSSL Heartbleed, and there we are. We have it right over here. So this is the name of the module. So we have auxiliary scanner SSL OpenSSL Heartbleed, and it was released on 2014, on the year 2014. So you can take a look at the description. OpenSSL Heartbleed information leak. So this also expands on the vulnerability or the functionality. So I'm just going to copy that. We're going to use this particular module, and we're going to show the options here. Show options. You can see we have quite a few options. I'm going to be covering the important ones only. So again, you can specify the TLS version that you want to use. In our case, we're going to say set our hosts, because that's the most important bit here. Set our host 192.168.1.105. Set our port 8443, that is the port we're targeting. And now if we show the info in regards to this particular module, we can see that it expands on its functionality when it comes down to the actions. Now I don't know whether I've talked about actions with Metasploit before, but for example, we can set the action to dump. This will dump the memory contents. We can also set it to dump the private keys. We're not going to be taking a look at that right now. I doubt it will leak any of the private keys of that particular certificate. And we have scan, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to start off with set action scan, and I'm going to hit enter and hit run, and that is going to run the vulnerability scanner. And right over here it tells you Heartbleed response with leak, and that tells us that of course we have this particular server is vulnerable to the Heartbleed attack on that particular port. Now if we set our action to dump, that is essentially going to dump the memory contents. And what we can do is, or what I'm going to do really is, I'm just going to log in and out because I want to demonstrate a particular vulnerability here. So I'm going to go into BWAP and I'm going to log out, and I'm just going to log in one more time, and I'll explain why. So there we are, we've logged in. Excellent. And that has nothing to do with what we're doing right now, essentially just to do with the leak. So we're going to set action. Oops, sorry, that is set action dump, and we're going to run this. So you can see that it's actually stored the data into a bin file right over here. So the dump is stored into a bin file, which is very, very convenient. So what I can do is I can copy this, and we can essentially just open up a new tab here, and I will put in strings, and let me just reduce the font size, and we can actually see the contents of this bin file. Now the best way to analyze a bin file is of course to look for strings that are readable, and you can use the strings tag right over here, and immediately you can see a dump of this particular web server. And for example, right over here we have a bit of data. We have the BWAP email, we also have a bit of the data being sent onto the web page, and that is to do with a particular challenge. Let's see if we can find anything important here. We should be able to find the PHP session ID, which is what I was getting to. So there we are. Immediately we can see we have the cookie, we have the PHP session ID of this particular user. Oops, sorry about that. Of this particular user here. And you can see that we get the PHP session ID, which you can of course confirm it with your proxy, whether that being burp or zap, with whatever the case. What I was getting to is with data like the PHP session ID, that means we can impersonate this particular user, which is the administrator, with the user B and the password bug, which means we can perform various types of attacks on the database using various tools. You get the idea. We can now expound on our attack surface on this particular web application. Now that we've exploited the session ID, which of course means we can essentially impersonate this user. And more than that, we of course have the login details or the login credentials, which are the user B and the password bug. So that gives you an idea of how powerful this particular vulnerability is and how it can be used by attackers to essentially get tons of information about the web server. Not really you in most cases, or in some cases, you might get the password, the username of the password, but important bits of information like the PHP session ID are very, very important here. So that is how to go about it using the auxiliary module, the auxiliary module with Metasploit. Sorry about that. And now let's talk about using the proof of concept script. So I'm just going to exit here, and we have it on my desktop. It is the heartbleed.python script right over here. Now I will be posting it in the description, and of course, if you are using bbox, it does give you a link to that particular script that you can use to test on your particular server. All right, so we have it on my desktop. So there we are, heartbleed.py. You can go ahead and take a look at the script and analyze it right over here. So it is a POC, which is again proof of concept. And you can go ahead and look at the vulnerability. You can take a look at the script, sorry. So to run it again, we simply type in Python, and then we have heartbleed here .python, and we type in 0.1.105, and the syntax is simply we specify the particular port, because the port could be different, and the port in this case is 8443. We hit enter, and what it does is it gives us a warning telling us the server returned more data than it should, and that the server is vulnerable, and it also gives us a dump of the memory of the particular server. And right over here we have all empty data, so nothing has been caught over there. But right over here we have the exact data that we were able to get using the auxiliary scanner. We have the user and the password, and we also have the PHP session ID, if I can find it. There we are, PHP session ID. So that is also what ties into what I was getting at in regards to authentication flaws within a particular web application. So now that we've actually seen how to exploit it and what data we can get from it, let me just close off the video explaining why this is important. Now, of course, as I said, this is not really a popular vulnerability, mostly because it has been patched, and it's very, very hard to find websites that have currently not patched it. Probably websites that are running that were developed a long time ago and have not been maintained. But this comes into play when dealing with CTFs that could be on Hack the Box or Vulnhub. So if you do ever run into this particular vulnerability, this video will help you learn how to detect it and exploit it with a multitude of tools. You can use the original Python file, which is the heartbleed.python file. You can also use the Nmap. Well, the Nmap script is just used to detect the vulnerability. You can use the auxiliary module with Metasploit that allows you to dump the actual contents of the memory, and of course dump the keys if that's what you're looking for. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comment section, on my social networks, or at the forum at HackerSploit.org, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace, guys.